Yay! Yo, folks, welcome to your Monday Motivation, where we will be here. We being myself, John Duffin, and my partner in crime, superstar thinker, superstar money guy, superstar lender, Chad Levine, are here to kickstart your week. Welcome to your next version. Chad, good morning, buddy. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you very much. Hope all is well today, guys. I got to tell you, I'm starting off 0 for whatever today with this punctuality. I'm not gonna lie. Most people know me. If you knew what it takes to get me to here, it's like dodging and weaving and bobbing. And so anyway, I'm late, and that's not motivational. So let's rock.
So we're gonna rock this. Well, look. When I'm looking at you now, your hair's great. That obviously takes time.
Oh my
Making
God.
the room look perfect. The color of your shirt against your skin. I figure it's a lot to get you to this point. I get it. Your team, your glam team. I feel great about all that. So anyway, we are here, folks. And folks, because this is a Monday and it's summer, and if you live on the East Coast or in Philadelphia, I mean, beautiful beach day or whatever you were doing yesterday, and then followed by what looks like 6 in a row of great days. It's so easy to make, to me, and I'll just speak for myself, poor decisions. Poor decisions. You know what? You don't get these kind of weeks very often. Maybe I will go to kayak or wherever, or Airbnb, or maybe I'll just figure this out on Tuesday, or you know what? I'll get this all dialed in the fall. The way that
Listen, I got to tell you, John, it's regardless, whatever the weather is, the work still has to get done, right?
Has to. It has to. Look, before, I mean, my God, we're a few weeks outside of the first half of the year concluding, right?
Yeah.
So rather than beat people up today, did you hit your June goal? You know what I mean? And freak people out. It's real, folks. So don't turn away from it. One of the things, the reason I was thinking in this direction was our buddy, Chad Levine, made a time switch on one of his programs. And to me, I wanted to not just acknowledge that, but it fed into the way that you can try something differently without just throwing out your formulas or your plan. And so Chad Levine is a worldwide media presence on Facebook and shifted his program, the superstar program, from Friday day to Friday evening. And I loved that because it felt fresh, new, and different. And folks, here's what I'm thinking for me. And if any of this rubs off, great. There's a big difference between trying something differently and putting something on hold or dismissing it or throwing it out. And whether it's June, whether it's a nice sunny day, whether it's a Monday, whatever, I've risked making terrible decisions, which are letting things go or giving up on certain things, which is just foolish. My co-host, like I said, just made a slight change. And went from AM to PM. And all of a sudden, Chad, your program, I said to our executive producer, Jason Herbert, before, I was paying much closer attention what was being said. And maybe the questions were more on point. Anthony's a rock star, and I didn't know half his story. But I also think it was your idea to just try something different, rather than say, you know what, I'm not going to do the Friday mornings anymore or the Friday lunch times. I'm just going to, do something.
Listen, the one thing you're going to learn, look, I'm going to tell you, and then we'll get into today's topic.
Yeah.
I will say this. Many people are finding, and podcasting is the wrong word, right? Like we call it podcasting, but all it really is it's you connecting with your audience. It's using your the video, but the audio. It's the combination of everything in the digital age. Happy Monday,
Justin
I
Talbot.
almost called him Jason.
Oh my God, Justin Talbot. Thank you, buddy. Your network is your net worth guy and a killer creator. But go ahead. I didn't.
No. I was going to say everyone wants to do the podcasting thing, right?
Yeah.
It's the hottest, newest thing. And in reality, it's the way you can connect with people, I think, best. I mean, if someone's seeing you and hearing you and feeling you, the brand becomes more real, more tactile, more tangible, right? Yeah. But I'm going to tell you the hardest thing is you have to coordinate the guest. You have to coordinate the producer. Everyone's got to come together. So honestly, John, I'm getting rid of my rigid ways. I'm going to say, you know what? When you're available, we'll shoot, and that's it. And I enjoyed it. I'm not going to lie. I liked the night. I don't think Jason appreciated a Friday night production, but this is how we roll. Yeah.
I love that. So my thought is this: it's so easy. Oh my God, Chad Erickson, who literally helped me create my killer voiceover demo. I love you, Chad Erickson. I'm thrilled that you're here. This is great, man. See, all different walks of life today, brother.
Listen, it is what it is. It's
happy.
Gonna at some point we're gonna bring people into this show. Yeah,
I think we already are. And not blowing smoke. I think that's great. Look, for me, here's what I would say: that these sorts of tweaks are perfect, wonderful, needed. Yeah. However, if they are replacing action, if they are replacing moving forward, then they're diversions and they don't work. Hey, you know what? I want to rethink this. I think maybe I'll do, but then do it. Then just go. And that sounds like such a cliche, but it's where I've gotten tripped up is in the, I'm going to go back and deliberate some more. You know what? I'm going to focus more on coaching. So let me build a blueprint. I'm going to focus more. And it doesn't mean I'm right, wrong, whatever. But all of this has to go toward the action part. Just like, if nothing, it just makes you feel better, for God's sake.
Dude, at the end of the day, you just got to freaking roll with it and make sure you get done what you need to get done. I've never woken up and be like, here's the list of what I have to do. And boom, 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 boom. It's like bam, bam, bam.
Oh my God. Like I said, and things coming at you sideways. So this is where, like, on a Monday, look, we all have stuff going on.
Yeah.
Or if you don't have enough going on, you're in freak out mode because you think you should have a lot going on. So the whole point of this show is really, as a reminder, tips, techniques to get you moving, not in a wag finger type, although that sometimes is it, right? But whatever it is, so that it's like, don't give up great opportunities. Like it's Monday morning, for God's sake. It's don't give up on these opportunities. So I saw that. I watched you shift the program, right? And I thought about it, and I was like, well, okay, so I put up a social post today that also tied into like trying things differently, or at least trying. So my thought for today specifically is roll with a quote that I felt like encapsulated both pieces, the deliberation and or action. Now, that I'm going to reference Napoleon Bonaparte makes me sound a little historian, but I liked it. Oh my God, there it is. But to take time, and the quote, take time to deliberate. But when the time for action comes, stop thinking and go in. And to me, it encapsulates the whole purpose of this platform. You said something earlier, folks. The whole intention of this program, the platform is Facebook Live, and we will expand upon that as this program progresses. But these programs are opportunities to capture an audience, deliver a message, and have impact. Right. Mm-hmm. So that's where, in terms of the quote, you going to give me 2 minutes today, or am I going to have to? Oh my God. Right. And we were trying to get rid of one person. There you go. Chad Levine is going to literally disappear. And I just talked for 10 seconds. Folks, I'm going to repeat. I do several things professionally. Thank God Chad Erickson put up a great VO demo for me. I do voice narration. I do coaching. I do podcasts. I do media consulting. The fact of the matter is, it can be challenging to juggle a lot of different balls. And I know I'm not unusual here. I know that. We're all doing that in different ways. But the problem becomes on a Monday, on a nice day, on a bad day, you can risk making decisions that could really take you out of the game. I'll just make up an example. You know what? I haven't been booking a lot of voiceover stuff. You know what? I'm just going to let that go. And I'm going to they're terrible decisions. Part of it has to do with not wanting to take additional action. And then the other part is you're just not, like, for God's sake, I'll give you a comparison. A lot younger, a lot sloppier for me back in the day. Calling out sick on a Monday was, to me, a rite of passage. I'll just get it back together on Tuesday. Well, they were terrible decisions for the most part. Here's what I'm saying. Take a couple of minutes to deliberate on what the hell it is that's not right with, I'll speak for me, the voiceover plan, the coaching plan, the podcasting. Figure out, what could I do perhaps slightly different to tweak it? What am I auditioning for? Who am I going to choose to interview? What platforms am I on? You can take this to whatever field you're working in. But the truth is, it's reassessing and then, for God's sake, doing. It is Monday. It is barely 10:30 on the East Coast. There is plenty of time to move. So let's do it.
Well, I'll tell you what, John.
First off, welcome back. I love the fact you do a complete disappear. Anyway, so there you go, brother.
What I love about our show is that it's taken from two perspectives. I always call you the scholar, and I call me the street, right? Because I got to tell you, John,
yeah, I got you.
You are wired up today, baby.
Yeah, man.
You are, and I love it, and I dig it, But I'm going to try. I'm going to try and decipher it. There you go, guys. This is what makes our show entertaining too. I don't want you to sit there and be like, "What the hell?" And by the way, my background is horrible. This is FYI, not a good podcasting setup right here for me. I need
and we're getting a partial angle of your body and arm right now.
Yeah,
good, bad look in certain places.
I really could use a little. Anyway, look, I'm going to tell you. This is how I feel about it. At the end of the day, if I'm going to interpret, I'm allowed to do Chad's interpretation of your right. So here's how it goes. There's two big nuggets out of that. Number one, it's analysis paralysis, right? You can sit there and go over, and I do it all the time. Every day, I feel like I'm the prisoner to myself. It's kind of ridiculous. Like, shut up. Like, I wish I could shut off my head, man. Like, I wish I could just shut it off and go do it. But the point that you said is, you've got to just go do it. You've got to just go do it. That's number one. Number two, I liken it to the kid on the diet that cheats with the donut. Once you cheat, you don't have to destroy your entire day, right? So if you get derailed, stay on the tracks, number one. And number two, honestly, I think the thinking is death. I really do. I think you come up with one idea, you try it out. What up, Bruno?
Bruno. Here we go.
And I think that I personally think that if you don't try and fail forward, right, you're going to be stuck in the box, the rubber room, man. It's the freaking rubber room. I go through it every day. It's the rubber room. Dude, it is horrible. It's horrible. You've got to open the goddamn door and get out of the friggin' rubber room, man.
Especially when it's voluntary. Yeah.
You know, seriously, you're like, wait, I have the key. Why am I still in here?
Here you go. Right? Get some sun, some vitamin.
And by the way, I think we were just as eloquent as Napoleon was when he delivered.
There you go, right? And riding it on a horse or whatever the hell. It just got me. Like I said, I love that the rubber room. I can see it and feel it.
Dude,
you ain't alone. You ain't alone. And that's the part where it's like, especially when you're an entrepreneur, it's like you've got clients, you've got things, but it's like you can make these decisions.
Yeah.
And you can just pivot. The whole point of all this is don't give up on the plan because your next step seems hard.
Right.
That's really all this is.
Right.
And it's like, you know what, I'm going to try. You know what? I'm going to do this instead.
Yeah.
And I meant that analogy where it was like, you know what? I'm going to call out sick.
Right.
So that I can hang out a little later at Sunday happy hour. And this is a great plan, constructed and pulled off at 35 drinks in. And I'm now going to make the executive decision. I make terrible decisions on the fly. It doesn't mean don't pay attention. It simply means when you're taking the action, for God's sake, it's like base it on something other than, I think I'll just stay here at happy hour.
Yeah,
and
dude. I
work
mean,
out,
I think no matter how you look at it, right? No matter how you chop it up, there's so much. I got to tell everyone, and this is you and I getting naked on this show too. I feel like we do therapy sessions, right?
There you go.
It's not, these aren't just motivational stuff, guys.
Right.
This is the same things John and I work through on an individual level. That's what makes us so authentic in what we do and how we impact people. Because we're going through the same SHIT. We really are.
Today, now, it's in real time.
Yes. 100%. And the whole point is that, I liken it to a workout routine. You've got to pick something and just do it. Just do it. You can't overthink it because honestly, I've been lost in that sea of analysis. I'm still lost in it, John. How many times have I gone to you and told you I want to get into the coaching gig? And I've told you 50 bajillion names. And you're like, yo, dude, I don't care what you call yourself. Just go freaking do it.
Go help somebody. And that's what the point of today's show is. The whole point of this show and today's episode is always that, which is unmask certain things like that. Like Chad Levine is a killer thinker, decision maker, helps people, pulls things out fast, right? That's what you need in a coach. You need a coach that's got credibility, but it's your own self-doubt and it's put yourself back in the rubber room, with all the logos.
Is a rubber room a good idea? I mean, it's better than
listen, in the real world, I don't know really, but I've been in bad rooms in my life, and I'm gonna say, I get the voluntary part, which is funny to me.
All right, so let's do this, John. Let's do this for the sake of everyone, right? Because I feel like you and I are both. It's so funny. We're both crazy. Today's feeling. Does it feel loopy? I feel a little loopy.
Absolutely, man.
How do we get people out of their own proverbial rubber room? Does everyone know what we mean by rubber room, by the way? Stuck in the mental maze. You know what, John? Stuck in the mental maze. How about that? That's easier.
Stuck in the mental maze. So how do you get out? It is, to me, I'll speak for me. There is one action step. And if I rattled off 4 things that I do. Make me better, good, bad, or whatever. On the voiceover side, here's one. Do one audition. I have access to 100. Do one and send it in. That's an action. You know what? If I want to do it differently, you know what? I'll choose this platform instead of that platform. But I'm going to go do it, and it will be done by 11 a.m. That's just one example of taking action. If you want to do it differently, great. Have at it. But don't not take the action on a Monday and sabotage all the good stuff that you got going on in your life because you can't make a decision or you feel like the action is going to be hard or, for me, sometimes pointless. And it ain't pointless. Take the freaking action. That's all. And if it comes out badly, so what?
I think you're right. I think that's what it comes down to. I think it comes down to just doing it and not thinking about it. Falling forward, not being able to fail, whatever, all the other BS cliches that are out there.
All that, right?
Honestly, if you don't open the door, you're going to be stuck in that mental maze. And I think that's the point. I mean, I don't know if Napoleon that clairvoyant? Was he that profound? I mean, I guess I got to give him some credit, but I don't know, man. Then there's a part of me that's like, I just think he went outside and figured some of this stuff out. You know what I mean?
Well, he looks good on a horse.
I don't know how I feel about Napoleon. I don't know.
You're right. When I was thinking of the post, and I don't want people to think.
No, not you. It's just as an individual.
Napoleon specifically.
Yeah.
I'm not that old, so I haven't had the chance to talk to him in my life. But I'm going to say the just going in part. That's the part. Like I think it's a war analogy. You know what I mean? And you're like,
and if you get your head chopped off back in the day, then so be it.
Back in the day, so be it. You won't know the difference. I use, like I said, for myself, it's like mine is often rooted in I'm going to look bad, and people will point at me, laugh at me, whatever. That's really a recurring mental theme. That's my own neurosis, right? But here's in a business sense where the problem lies. You can't. You just can't.
It's not good.
It ain't. I'm going to speak in front of it. I've said this. It sounds so repetitive. I've spoken in front of more people, companies, and audiences this year than I ever have. Yeah. And the fact of the matter is, if I was, this is going to be weird, or they might think it's funny, or they may think it's not funny, or they may think this, then you don't do it. And then shame on me.
Well, and the other thing, John, is that, and I think we should always cap this, and these aren't always plugs, but this is the reality.
Right.
Part of getting out of the mental maze is hiring a coach, dude. Right?
Damn right.
I mean, that's part of getting it out. Like part of the reason we get stuck in thoughts, and by the way, it's human, guys. I'm telling you, I'm stuck in that god friggin' maze every friggin' day, and it's always the same subject, and I'm always revisiting the same things. I'm not perfect.
How do you get out, though? How do you get out?
I stop thinking about it and I start working.
Is it just you on your own, or does somebody help you?
Yeah. No, it's me, and it ends up being a huge, you get caught in one part of the thought, as opposed to looking at the bigger picture of things and realizing that it almost eats up all of your time. And that's where I start to say to myself, is it really worth sucking this much time out of your day? And the answer is no. It just isn't.
Never.
And you know what? It's interesting. It's a balance. It's a balance between lunacy and productivity. I'm not gonna lie.
But you just said you bring someone else in, folks.
Yeah.
If it's bringing a coach, you should. I work with 2 coaches, so I don't want to act so high. I do. I pay because I sometimes need my thought process just tweaked, or I need better vision.
Yeah.
2 coaches, 1 therapist. It's like you want an outside perspective. Chad, you were saying I spoke to somebody on Friday in regards to someone who wants to get into voice narration. I bring that up because of this reason. What I said to her was, you need to practice in front of objective people that will tell you objectively. Practicing in front of your family is great, and you're going to get a lot of variations of, that's good, that sounds great, but because they don't want to interrupt or change a relationship. And that's when we talk about whether it's hiring a coach. You want someone's objective opinion. Typically, you want someone who has been in a situation. But if you don't want to do that, fine. Talk to someone when you're in that rubber.
And you know what, John? That's the most brilliant. That's the most brilliant message. That's it. Right. It's funny. You and I will work until we get to the point. I think that's it. I think you're right. I think
that's it. Talk to somebody.
Getting out of the mental maze is and look, guys. It sounds a little bit like mental health, but it is. It's
definitely is. It is, right? I mean, the mindset pillar that you've got, and I've got the same, which is that's why neither one of us are trained psychologists, but I can tell you point blank that I've made great decisions in my life and in my career because people have guided me and allowed me, in essence, the permission.
Yes.
I've made awful decisions when I've literally just been hunkered down on my own.
Yes, John.
So it's like just
John,
talk to somebody, man,
100%, John.
right? Just talk to somebody,
100%. 100%.
right? Your mental health matters.
100%.
Your business health matters. Is this a good idea? You know what? Like I use that analogy at Sunday happy hour. It's like
Yep.
if I said it out loud to somebody, hey, do you think it's a good idea that I just stay here Sunday night?
And look, there's nothing wrong with having a talking buddy. You don't have to hire a coach. That's not. Of
I'm
course,
saying
we
just
love.
talk to
Of
somebody.
course, we'd love you to hire us. That's great.
Yeah.
That's phenomenal. We'll
Just
gladly
talk
do
to
it.
somebody.
But if you go to a coffee shop and you have someone to say, "Hey, I just want to talk to somebody. I want to
Right.
talk this out. Can you tell me what you're thinking? Are my thoughts nuts?" You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
100%, John. I love it.
Yeah,
I think it's
there
a
you go.
great
And
message.
to me, that's how you salvage a
Yep.
Monday, and that's how you salvage a week. It really is. 5 minutes often solves a lot of
Love
this
it.
stuff, right?
Love it.
Um,
Love it,
and
John.
I would leave it with one more thing, folks, which is this. If you think the idea is crazy or bad or whatever, I mean, safe spaces, all that kind of thing, right? But it's simply articulate it.
Yeah.
Just articulate it.
Yeah.
Because you might be pleasantly surprised. Somebody might say, you know what? I like that. I think that's great. Simple as a Friday night thing. You know what I mean? Doing the program. It's like, that sounds cool. That'll be
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah,
Why not?
Mhm.
So that's all. Talk to somebody. Don't be afraid, again, from a mental aspect, a mindset aspect, pardon me, or a business aspect. Just like I said, just give yourself permission to talk. And
Dig it,
don't
man.
keep stuff all by yourself. Brother, anything else that you think we can
No, I mean, geez, Louise, this was therapy for me today. I'll tell you what, guys, if you don't
Right?
talk, if you don't walk away from these shows, like, and it's funny, like this, I was driving in, I'm
Yep.
still lost in a thought. I was
Mhm.
reading about a guy that started this blog and like, oh, I want to do that. And I went nuts and bought the domain and
Sure.
I haven't talked to anybody about it now. And because of that, I was stuck in my underwear late to this show.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, right.
Lost in that mental maze. But you took me out, so thank you. That's it.
Right.
That's
This
it.
is it, brother. So we both did the same thing. As I said, it's like we're out of the mental maze, out of the rubber room. And folks, we hope you are too. But if you're not, easy. Have a quick conversation with somebody that matters to you. And then get the hell out of it as well, too. Put some clothes on and handle business. Chad Levine, I love you. And I love every bit of this program today. I'm glad we did it. Thank you so much for helping me. And folks, you have just heard another episode of Your Monday Motivation, where Chad Levine, what do we get to do?
Give you your weekly kick in the arse.
Never, ever, ever gets old. Folks, thanks for continuing to turn in. Keep liking, keep sharing, tell your friends, and have a great rest of the day. Bye-bye, all.